Okay, everybody, may I have your attention? Today what we're going to do, I'm going to talk to you briefly about mood food. One of my PhDs is in the behavior, different behaviors like, eating disorders. You probably heard bulimia and binge eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, nocturnal eating disorder. That's when people eat at night and they just get up and wander to the refrigerator and they just keep eating. They don't know how they got there, but that is one of the illnesses that we deal with. Food is a very, very important thing, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. This is one of the books that's on moods and food. One of the things that you'll find that especially all the young, wonderful people in here, you'll find that you'll have mood swings. Anybody know what I mean? Yeah. So moods are, if you cannot control what you eat, then you cannot control what you feel. If you cannot control what you feel, you cannot control your behavior. And if you cannot control your behavior, you'll never be able to control your moods. So that's why you see a lot of people that, they have, I don't know, y'all lost my temper. And the truth is you never lose your temper. You never had control of it in the first place. A lot of it has to do with what you eat. For instance, if you don't have a flowing body that you are regularly using the bathroom, defecating, you can easily be a very, very stubborn person, a very grumpy person. And when people say you're full of, they're probably right. So it's very important for you to choose the foods that will add life. And we're going to talk about that in a minute when I go to the table. But it's very important that as young people, you are the targets of the food industries. So when they're making up all their new list of foods, what they do is think about you because you become their lifetime customers. And if you grow up and you have children, and they have children, and so on, they continue to buy their products. When you, at your age right now, you can use food, the food that you're eating can damage your DNA. That means that when you can also pass that along in your gene pool. So when you are ready to have children, they will pick up some of the things that, or the diseases and disorders because of the foods that you eat today. Foods that you eat today, they should have energy in them. What do I mean by that? If you're eating foods that are void of energy, then you are making your body work harder in order to exist. Example, what was that? The cheese or the hot Cheetos? How many vitamins in hot Cheetos? None, right? We all know that, right? But you eat Cheetos because they taste good, and the Cheetos are good, they taste good, but that's it. But if you continue eating that, some people, especially in your age group, actually use that as a meal. They'll eat a big bag of junk, and they'll drink a big bottle of stuff, and then they really won't have what is necessary in order for them to be healthy. If your bowels don't move, then what you do is you produce septicemia. What? Septicemia? Say it. Septicemia. 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 What word do you hear in that? Septic. Right, septic, right? Or sepsis, which means poison. So when you don't have a bowel movement every day, if you don't, and I won't ask, of course, you to raise your hand on this one, but it's very important for you to know that your body is reabsorbing toxins that should be out of your body. If you eat foods that are dead, you are going to produce a dead product. That means nothing, no enzymes, no vitamins, no minerals, no carbohydrates and proteins and so forth are even been absorbed by your body. In America, children don't die because of the lack of food. They die because of food having no nutrition in it. So the children that die in America, those that die of hunger and those that die of famine, which is hardly ever, but in some places that still does happen in America, is because of the lack of nutrients. So you can actually be eating a hamburger with the little lettuce and tomatoes on it and say, ooh, this got to be healthy. You can eat the French fries and the ribs and the onion rings and everything else that's fried and killed, and it really feels that you're eating something that, you know, your parents ate, your uncle ate, your grandma ate, your mom ate, and so forth. But I would suggest to you, especially at your young age, to explore it. Don't eat it just because they ate it. A lot of those, if you check out, anybody have any, you don't have to put up your hands on this either, but you probably have somebody, each one of you have families that you have somebody in your family that's suffering from some chronic disease. Each and every one of you in here. Because every single year, almost 1 billion people die from heart attacks. Almost another billion people die from the different types of cancer. And then almost 500,000 people, half of a billion people die from different things like cardio arrest, high blood pressure, things that we can avoid. Ladies, it's very important for you to guard your temple and make sure you start putting the right things in them now. Because as you grow and you mature and you get out of school and so forth, the things that you do to yourself now, they will show up later in your children. Today we have a really incredible amount of children that are born with all types of handicaps. And you probably have some of those, you know what I'm talking about. And that's maybe their hearing is impaired, or their vision is impaired, or they're not able to swallow like everybody else, or a part of the body is compromised, is not totally developed, or they walk in a different way. All of these things are connected to food. Food has a lot of energy and it has a lot of responsibility on your part. Let's turn over here to the board. Now, we look at the board right today.
We're going to pull it out because you got a room over here.
Oh, can you maybe angle?
Can everybody kind of see it?
Yeah. Okay.
You guys see it? Except for the people back there.
No?
Let's pull it back a little more.
Okay. Now, one of the things that, have anybody heard of the word homeostasis? Oh, good. Anybody know what it means? What does it mean? In balance. All right, I had something over here. All right, come on up here and get you a shirt. I'm going to give you a... Come on up. Let's give her a hand, y'all. Yeah. One like this. Yeah, then that way. There you go.
What is it?
You're welcome.
Oh,
Right, that's a logo.
oh, medical.
All right.
Okay.
That's for the brilliant people. All right. Everybody's brilliant. So homeostasis is balance. So when you're out of balance, it's just like the earth. We host, the earth hosts us. And we host everything inside of us. When the earth is out of balance, it shows that, anybody knows how the earth shows that it's out of balance or it keeps balance? How does the earth show that it's out of balance? What are some of the things that happen? Yes, icebergs melting.
Just climate in general.
Climate in general. Anybody else?
California wildfires.
What is it?
The California wildfires.
The wildfires. And some people up there setting those fires too. Oh yes, yes, the coral reefs. Yeah, beneath the water, the sea is definitely the plankton and so forth. All of that is dying. The thing that is important for you to get in control of the balance inside of your body. Whenever you're out of balance, then that means that your body is not ever functioning at its best. In order to get your body working at its best, it should be in balance. Some people use the word, just do it in moderation. If I don't use that word, because you can just be sick in moderation. You'll be moderately sick. Or moderately fit. It hardly means anything. But in balance, it means that you want to make sure that you have the percentage, the calculated percentage of what you need in order to be the best athlete, the best scientist, the best doctor, the best whatever you're going to be. And all of that comes through eating. I'm going to shoot through it real fast. Much of where we are today hasn't anything to do with whether it works or not. BLD, anybody knows what the BLD system is? Come up and get a shirt. Anybody know? What does the BLD system mean?
Guess what?
What is it? BLD. Okay, I'll put that one back down. BLD means breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No. Now don't feel breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The BLD system is crazy because it has no rhyme or reason. Right now, the BLD system is set up by farmers and people with big bucks, deep pockets. So we're eating according to some employers' scheduling. It has nothing to do with your health. So I'm just going to suggest this to you. I'm going to do this real briefly. I'm not going to go into a lot of it because you can go online, look me up, and find all this stuff. The first meal that you get up in, now everybody's system right now, if you got up at 6 a.m. and you got up at 4 a.m. and you got up at 9 a.m., then all of you will probably say, well, we're going to all eat at 10 a.m. But that is so far off. You should be eating according to the human circadian rhythm. Anybody know what that is? Okay.
It's like the body, like when you sleep and when you wake up.
Bravo, there you go. Oh, you got Harvard on, all right. Good. So that's your awakening and sleeping cycle. Everything that lives has a circadian rhythm. Now we should eat just to make it easy for you, like the circadian rhythm works just like the sun. It starts, it rises, it comes to a zenith. The highest point is called the zenith, and then it lowers, it descends. So here, this is the most, what would you think is the most critically important time to get rid of toxins in your body? When is it? Breakfast is correct, and why?
Oh, the most important say that.
Because what? No, it's not the most important meal of the day, but that's good. Thank you, brother. But that's good because he's been watching the commercials. That's what they push. They say, hey, breakfast of champions and so forth and so on. But, it is important in the morning. Why? Because this is when you wake up after you've broken down foods and now your body has all of the toxins in it. The very first thing you should be working on is evacuating, having a good bowel movement. This is the beginning of your day. You should be refreshed. If you get up and you just throw on your clothes and you get right into your activity, it's a good chance that you're holding the very foods that will cause septicemia or cause blood poisoning. Now that happens a little bit at a time, and it doesn't kill you automatically. Most diseases in America that kill us are acute or chronic. There's somebody said chronic. You said who? Chronic, right? Why? You got half of it right. Come on.
I don't know the other half.
Well, let's say chronic. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So chronic lasts for a long period of time. So it could be for your lifetime. So,
Did everybody hear that?
Diabetes.
Here,
I know the definition.
do that.
Go
Go ahead. Tell us. Chronic.
Chronic is a long period of time, like an illness they have a long period of time, or for your lifetime. So asthma, diabetes, cancer, those are chronic, and they don't go away that easily.
Oh, she got to get something. Let's give her a hand, y'all. Oh, sure. So that's chronic disease. Acute disease, bam, ooh, I hurt my toe. That's acute. Chronic disease is something that happens over time and it accrues. Okay, so it is very important to know all of these things has a lot to do with the way that you feel. There's two moods that you're in: good moods, bad moods. If you eat foods that are void of life, you're most likely going to be in the worst moods. Depression, anxiety, bipolar, all those different diseases that were mentioned earlier. These are the diseases that you'll be more prone to. But when you eat foods that are quote-unquote good foods, you also can have good moods with eating those foods. So I'm going to run through this really fast. Won't have time to break it down, but just to give you an idea. Your first breakfast, or when you get up in the morning, in that first hour, you should be eating this fruit and water. This is the main thing, but you can also eat some things like we have over here. If you still eat cereal, you should add a lot of fruit with it. If you eat cereal, you should also have an alternative milk. Do people, are you